What's up, Shadow Warriors? As you can already understand from the title of the video, today we have a short guide to the trot, and now we will… Wait, what is this crap playing in the background? Now, just a minute. Oh yes, that's it. It's better now. I don't see any point in delaying this anymore. And let's go. Lynx is an epic hero in his own way, and there he was presented as the first demon boss, and he migrated to the arena as a playable character that absolutely everyone can touch. Remember how in Shadow Fight 2 Rusis becomes invisible to him? This ability has migrated to the arena and replaces his thrown weapons. It's called Hunter in the Dark. When using throwing weapons, Russ throws a smoke bomb at himself, which makes him invisible for some time, and also imposes a positive effect. A blow from invisibility will break through the enemy's block. After the start of action of a throwing weapon, any blow, be it yours or an opponent's, will break the effect of invisibility. The explosion after throwing a smoke bomb, by the way, also causes damage. Another unchanging voice of the classics is the Lynx enchantment for a time bomb. In the arena, this enchantment migrated in the form of a Mark of the Order. Any attack by the Lynx causes the Mark of the Order to be applied to the enemy, which in turn lasts for a short time. If you enter shadow form when activity is ability, then the mark is detonated, sending the enemy flying and causing minor damage. Instead of poisoning from Shadow Fight 2, the Lynx received an upgrade, a new addition called Demonic Power, which works in such a way that if you enter shadow form, the Lynx's claws will increase significantly. Abundance works not only during the shadow form, but also for some time after it. Let's talk about the shadow form of the Lynx. As you may have already understood a little earlier, the character places great emphasis on this aspect. In his arsenal, Rice has one shadow technique, but what kind? After a long and pathetic start, the character sends the enemy into the air, making 5 lightning strikes with his claws. I don't recommend using the shadow technique just like that, because if your opponent has a slightly higher IQ than the stool, he will simply dodge or will interrupt your attack. This is where the Mark of the Order comes to the rescue, which, in combination with the shadow technique, works simply gorgeous. Pick him up with his shadow technique in any case. Let's take a look at the talents. At the first crossroads, we encounter an increased duration of invisibility versus an increased bomb detonation radius. And here I recommend taking an increased bomb detonation radius. Thus, the Lynx's throwing weapon can be used not close to reach the enemy and carry out your attack from invisibility guaranteed. The body of a demon or the Mark of the Head of the Order? Here I advise taking the Mark of the Head of the Order because this makes the character even more flexible and even more cooperative. With the third choice, everything is obvious. Here the situation is the same as with Kib. I don't recommend taking Titan's Whisper because it only affects the first demonic force in the round and it still needs to heal. Sharp blades have a chance to increase the damage of any claw attack you make. The fourth crossroads, talents. Insatiable Demon vs. Egoist. Insatiable Demon gives Razor a buff while under demonic power. Vampirism is proportional to the damage dealt, and the Egoist blocks the enemy from receiving shadow energy, as long as it bears the Mark of the Order. Personally, in this choice, I advise you to rely on Egoist, because this makes Resi not just a killing machine, and also, in a sense, an anti-shadow character who gives a trump card against heroes such as the King of the Legion, Monk Shan, and other characters who rely on their shadow form. By the way, Lynx mainers, if you had problems with the Sergeant while playing as this hero, then with this talent they will no longer exist, because the Egoist is blocking the Sergeant from receiving shadow energy, and he will not be able to walk into his shadow form, as is understandable, and uses his invulnerability. And the latest talents, the Demon Prince versus the Perfect Assassin. The Demon Prince works in such a way that while you have demonic power, you gain additional shadow energy. The Perfect Assassin works like this, that if you hit an enemy with a blow from invisibility, then the Lynx bomb almost completely recharges its entire cooldown, and you can use the smoke bomb almost instantly. And of course, the ideal assassin looks much tastier because this ability gives the Lynx the ability to choke the enemy almost always. I would even say that this ability makes the Lynx a near metal character. The Trot is doing well with the moveset, The back kick is used less often because it is quite slow. It requires almost perfect reading from you, and it's not like it hits very far, but the rest of the shots are almost always in great demand. The upper and lower blows are simply very fast, and the lower blow also prevents your opponent from pushing you into the walls. A normal attack boasts that she is not only quite fast, but also very sweeping. The special move is not particularly fast, but it does quite a lot of damage, and after using a bomb, I use it most often. Lynx's heavy hit is a great opportunity to end a shadow combo with a tag, because this hit deals a huge amount of damage under damage buffs. The tactics for playing as a Lynx are quite simple. Your task is almost always to be as close to the enemy as possible. The Lynx has no ability to fight an opponent at a long distance due to the replacement of its throwing weapons. The difficulty of playing as a Lynx is that you need to close the distance between you and the enemy as safely as possible, because the Lynx itself is very fragile and its attacks are quite open. If you miss with one attack, you will miss a bunch of unwanted damage, and then pray that this damage is not incompatible with the life of your hero. The counters of the Trot are quite unobvious. The damage of his basic attacks is high enough that he can easily do without his shadow form. Therefore, anti-shadow heroes are not a particular problem for the Lynx. First of all, the Lynx is weak against heroes who are able to keep it at a distance. For example, Hongzhu, Azuma, and other heroes with all sorts of long things. Personally, I was very pleased to make a guide to the Trot because I absolutely love the style of this character. Lethality coupled with grace and efficiency makes this hero a tasty morsel for absolutely every account in the game. And I say goodbye to you. Win, bend over and see you in the arena.